Hello everyone. This video is going to be real short and sweet, but I want to talk about something that sort of bothers me a little bit these days, and that is, well, before I get into that, let me preface this by saying I'm really into, like, ancient mythologies. I love Greek and Roman and Egyptian and Norse mythology. I hope to get into Indian and Japanese mythology pretty soon. But, I love to hear about ancient religions. They're really interesting to me. And Um, I something that bothers me these days is that one of my favorite characters from Norse mythology, and this is only going to be about Norse mythology, but one of my favorite characters from Norse mythology is Loki. He is a smart, clever, funny god. He gets himself into these situations that most of the time he has no one but himself to blame for, and somehow he always figures out a colorful way to get out of them. And the only time he really doesn't is after he kills Balder. And if you know Norse mythology, you know what I'm talking about. Um, but the only time he really just doesn't get out of trouble is after he kills Balder and when he's sentenced to eternal torment in this cave. But either way, still, he's one of my favorite characters from Norse mythology, and I really feel like in a lot of movies and books and things these days, he's really been cast in the wrong light. And because Loki's not always a villain. Um, he has good traits and bad. He can be selfless. Most of the time he is selfish, but he can be selfless. He can do things that are good for other people. Without provocation, you know, and I'm not saying that I have a problem with, because I know a lot of people are going to comment about what I have to say about them, but I don't have a problem necessarily with the Avengers movie or the Thor movie, even though I didn't care for them that much, but that's just me. You know, I was never really interested in the Avengers or Thor the comics, so the movie didn't really interest me all that much. Captain America didn't interest me as much as The Dark Knight because I've read Batman comics. I haven't read Captain America. He never really was interesting to me. So, I have nothing against the movies or the people that were in them or Joss Whedon. Just for all you fans out there who might get upset, nothing against them. I just don't care for them, and I don't really care for the way that Loki is portrayed in them, because he's always just a villain. And the big thing that annoys me really about it is Loki always wanting to take something over and rule. The Loki from Norse mythology does not strike me as someone who wants to rule anything. He is only interested in having fun. Someone like that doesn't care about ruling anything. In fact, it would be a burden that he doesn't want, honestly, I would think. It's just sort of annoying the way that people portray him these days as the bad guy and, this maniacal, prideful tyrant, sort of. And he wasn't like that in Norse mythology. And I know people say, well, that's the comics, it's completely different from Norse mythology, but these are characters that are based on Norse myth. If you're going to base them on Norse myth, make them similar to those people, give them the same name even, then they need to be a little bit more like their mythological counterparts, don't you think? I do. But anyway, I just want to know what everybody else thinks about it, because I really like Loki. I mean, I liked him in the movie, too. He was my favorite character from the movies, honestly. And from those few Thor comic books that I read, he was my favorite character. So I just want to know what everybody else thinks. And if you don't agree with me, so be it. Post a comment or a video. And if you do, I'd love to hear from you, too. Thank you.